The year was 1915. The First World War's bloodiest front opened on the Dardanelles Strait. For Britain and its allies, this wasn't merely a military operation. It was a desperate gamble to turn the tide of the war. Yet, the soil of Gallipoli would not only deliver a crushing strategic defeat, but also teach them some of humanity's most tragic and poignant lessons. These are the stories that were swallowed by the thunder of cannons, but continue to echo in our hearts. In the midst of the war's brutality, an unexpected camaraderie bloomed on the front lines. The trenches were so close that an enemy's whisper could be heard by another. A British soldier named John chronicled those moments in his diary. One night, a voice from the Turkish trenches called out. "Hey Johnny, want a cigarette?" they shouted. We were taken aback. But soon after, a small packet was thrown over the barbed wire to us. It held a handful of tobacco and a note that read, "War is short, friendships last longer." That night, two adversaries, separated by a thin strip of earth, found solace and strength in each other's presence. Another story began with a whisper in the suffocating silence of the trenches. A British soldier, yearning for his family, whispered, "Mum." His whisper was immediately echoed from the opposing Turkish trench, "You are not alone, my brother." These two men knew neither each other's names nor faces, but they knew they weren't alone in this hell. The brutality of war had taught them to find solace in the voice of a stranger at the most unexpected moment. The British soldiers came to hold such a deep respect for the courage and honor of their Turkish adversaries that they gave them a nickname, Johnny Turk. It wasn't a term of mockery, but rather a profound expression of regard for a warrior fighting with equal intensity. In 1915, during a ceasefire, soldiers from both sides came together to collect their dead. There, they set aside their enmity to give water and aid to the wounded. One Turkish soldier, a Mehmetçik, earned the admiration of both sides for his simple act of mercy. That moment showed how, even in the darkest days of war, compassion and mutual respect could shine through. These small but powerful instances prove that even the bloody face of combat could not completely erase the human conscience. Gallipoli was more than just a strategic defeat. It was the tragedy of an entire generation. Britain lost thousands of its most brilliant young men in the war, not just as soldiers, but as the artists, poets, and scientists of the future. This generation would later be forever known as the Lost Generation. The Gallipoli campaign inflicted unspeakable suffering on both sides. For British history, it was a poorly planned disaster and a massive blow to their prestige. Yet, these lands became proof not only of a defeat, but also that the human conscience and compassion can never be extinguished. Today, Gallipoli stands as a monument bearing the pains of the past, as well as a symbol of the friendship and mutual respect that blossomed even in the face of war's horror. It is a sacred ground where thousands of young men from both sides walked into eternity, and where even the silence speaks with sorrow. Gallipoli doesn't tell us about war, but about the true value of peace.